don't understand, Zach. He's left his body. He's gonna reanimate a dead body.
Hold it! I'm not fucking around. Stop! Hold it!
My soul can be any place at any time. You ignoramuses cannot begin to comprehend my powers.
Do you think Peter Jackson is a show-off? An overachiever? Do you like spending an hour and 30 minutes of your time to find out that you are an idiot? Do you hate yourself? If you wonder any of these things, hop onto the Soultangler, and these questions will be answered. Eventually. Somewhere. If you don't jump off this abysmal, puppet-stomping, goofy zombie carnival ride that, if you're lucky, will malfunction, fall apart, and kill you before wasting any more of your precious time. 1987's Soultangler concerns a shunned doctor who is not Herbert West, who has made a drug that is not reagent, that allows the mad doctor to faint, enter the bodies of the dead, and do very stupid things with them. This only works if the eyeballs of the dead are intact, because, as the movie lets you know, the eyes are the windows of the soul.
And enable you to enter any human corpse, provided it has eyes. Without eyes, your soul can neither enter nor leave the shell of a body. I am able to pass through any corpse, provided it has eyes. Portals to the soul.
Listen, remember I told you about that legend my grandmother told me? You know, the eyes are the windows of the soul. Eyes.
Right, I almost forgot. Thanks, movie. By the way, none of this plot matters. Now, just so we're clear, I don't really hate ultra low-budget movies. In fact, I have complimented such efforts before in my reviews. But I cannot forgive a movie that makes money that is low skill, and that's different than low budget. This movie makes many amateur technical errors that could easily have been rectified in the edit, or with some skill. And if it's not a lack of skill, it's because they didn't care. I can't tell which. Let's review what went wrong with Soultangler. First, there's a frequent use of dubbed audio that matches actors' lips worse than an old Japanese movie on TBS. In other words, not at all.
The doctor is expecting you. Please step this way.
Thank you.
Like children, you each cling to your own
That's
little
enough,
view
Doctor.
of the world.
The actors aren't even talking in some of these scenes, but there's audio playing of a conversation. It's really confusing. Sometimes character voices sound like they were recorded in a backyard.
I come for you. I come for you from beyond the grave. Join us.
The lines are being overpowered by the tweeting of birds. Now, when was the last time you couldn't focus on a movie because birds were squawking louder than the actor? It's atrocious. That's horrible. Speaking of sound balance issues, the music often has the same volume as dialogue, so the two things battle it out, and it makes it hard to focus on either. This is pretty bad because the music does have some pretty cool riffs, and I would have liked to have heard it without the dialogue fighting it. Visually, there are some monsters that do whatever this is. That guy must really want his cake. As a filmmaker, I would eat ants covered in chocolate before letting this crap be released with my name on it, honestly. Now, technical issues aside, Soultangler's plot is a bare-bones horror story that is an obvious Reanimator ripoff, with tones of someone who once read the back cover of a Lovecraft book. To top it all off, the movie's pace is plodding. There's an hour and 10 minutes of characters mumbling to each other in dubbed conversations before we finally reach the point of the movie, a rousing sequence of humans fighting gory puppets from hell. Pretty cool. Yeah, this is really the best part of the movie. And it also includes the most unintentionally funny parts, as seen in the intro of this video. But that's okay, because it's still more entertaining than watching a woman step on a dummy, or long scenes of dark landscape. The gore is actually pretty great, with loads of creative corpses and zombies appearing. Soultangler at this point really achieves a neat sort of nostalgic, filmed in someone's basement charm that people like Don Dohler were known for. I dig this part of the movie, and honestly, it's one of the only reasons to dig this gnarly corpse back up. While I was watching Soultangler, my main impulse was that if someone were to edit this movie's 90 minutes down to about 15 minutes total, you would get a great movie. You get your setup, The cool music is still cool without being overused. You have some spooky scenes, and then you have a gory explosion. It would totally work. I was actually onto something with this thought. In my research, I found that the version of Soultangler I watched had 30 minutes of padding added to it to meet a contractual length of 90 minutes. So, the 1 hour version is actually supposedly better, and it's probably closer to what I think would be the ultimate version of this movie. Shorter and sweeter. Apparently both the shorter and longer versions are on the DVD release. If you want to watch the shorter cut and tell me if it sucks or not, go right ahead. I will not take that dare. Described as being filmed on a budget of a used car, it may have been better to film a used car going over a cliff than filming this movie. I give Soultangler 1 skull with a spider toupee out of 5. Soultangler? More like Yawn Maker.
You ignoramuses cannot begin to comprehend my powers.